Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I'm Adam. This is the live preview for Manchester United's trip to Benfica. Yes, United are in Lisbon for the game against Benfica, the third game week in the Champions League. And it's a game that we go into it with a little bit of pressure off. We don't need to win this game in terms of Champions League qualification and finishing top of the group and all that good stuff. Now going to Benfica, which we would have counted as probably our most difficult away game. We go there with them having 0 out of 6 points, having back-to-back defeats against CSKA and Basel, and Manchester United sitting top of the group on 6 points. So it's an interesting way that the group lies at the moment, going to Benfica. I'm not sure most of us would have expected that. So it's an interesting game ahead against Benfica for Manchester United and a chance to bounce back from that. I'm not going to say poor result because it wasn't a poor result at the weekend, but poor performance against Liverpool. So has to bounce back this midweek, against Benfica. Now, how are you guys doing? I hope you're all doing well. Obviously, I've been away. I've just come back yesterday. I was doing the aftermath live to the Anfield game. And obviously, if you've missed that, then I am back now. I've been on holiday, but I'm back and in full effect. So we'll have the preview today. We'll have the reaction tomorrow. Also, today was Wally of the Week. And tomorrow, we'll also have the PES 2018 Road to Glory, which I filmed earlier on today. And it was very, very interesting. I also filmed FIFA 18 as well for Friday. And that was very interesting too. So you'll see a lot of similarities in the two videos this week. So look forward to them. But today we're talking about Manchester United's trip to Benfica. And I'll have you guys covered in terms of team news, predictions, my predicted lineup, and I'll be answering your questions as well. So right, first things first, let me dive into the questions, comments, see how you guys are doing. Obviously, we've got around 65 people watching at the moment. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're hitting that like button, share, comment. Of course, if you're watching this live or you're watching this back later on today, however you're watching it, thank you for tuning in. If you're not subscribed, then please do. And if you're an old-time subscriber, thank you very much. Like Kalagio, who's an old-time subscriber. Danelle White says, glad to have you back. Thank you very much. Akshmi says the same. Thank you too. Anes says he just got back from college. I hope you had a good day, mate. We bounced back versus Benfica. When are you going to announce the winner of the PES game, says King Raphael. I'll announce the winner of the second copy of PES this week. So I'll make sure I do that. Maybe I'll do it in the reaction show tomorrow. But I've also already announced the winner of the first one. If that was you, you know by now because the PES copy has already been sent out. Yusuf was the winner, so well done to him. But the second one hasn't been decided yet, and I will pick that this week. But thank you for entering. Thank you for tuning in, and you'll find out the winner very, very soon. We need Fellaini, says Akshmi. Rest Martial, says Radamagan. Mickey needs to be benched, says JK48. You'll see my team a little bit later on. How am I doing? Salman, I'm doing very, very well, mate. Thank you very much. I had a weekend in Amsterdam. Watched the game whilst I was there. It ruined my Saturday a little bit. But then I was with an Arsenal fan as well. Shout out to Carl. I was with Carl over there in Amsterdam and a few others. And we went away to watch the Arsenal game. He's an Arsenal fan. Arsenal lost. So we enjoyed that little bit of entertainment. But in the grand scheme of things, the United game nearly ruined my day. You're in Amsterdam though, so it's the perfect place to be. But yeah, I was away over the weekend and I'm back ready to get going. And hopefully Manchester United turn it around and put in a big, big performance. We saw in our last away trip, we went away to Moscow and won 4-0. And now we're going away to Benfica. So after comfortable victories against Basel and CSKA in Moscow, we go there in great shape in Champions League. We're unbeaten this year. After the doom and gloom of the weekend, it's hard to forget. It's hard to remember that we are actually unbeaten. We've drawn 2 games in the league, Stoke and Liverpool away. Is it that bad that we've drawn those 2 games? 2 games that are typically our most difficult away games of the season. It's not that bad at all. People are over-exaggerating. I find it absolute madness what's going on at the moment. And the best way to forget about it is by getting a good result, because then their talking stops and people start talking about how we're in form again. So it's as simple as that. The players know the task that's ahead. The manager knows the task that's ahead. And yes, we do have injuries. It's a shame we haven't got Fellaini. We haven't got Carrick. We haven't got Pogba. That's a shame. We haven't got Eric Bailly either. Marcus Rojo's travelled out there with the squad to Benfica, but he's not going to be involved. Jose Mourinho has said he'll be available for selection in about 2 weeks' time. So he's not going to be in the matchday squad. He's simply there just to train with the team. So whilst it's good to have Rojo back, he's not back yet properly. And United still have their injury problems. No Bailly, no Rojo. Smalling and Jones played at the weekend. They did okay. But I mean, we're missing Bailly at the back. That's for sure. And we need him back as soon as possible. I hope we win the Champions League for Zlatan, says Albert. I hope we win the Champions League for United. Forget anything else. I hope we win it. But of course, it would be nice if Zlatan won it. Did you hear the full-time Devils boys saying you were in the red light district to feel better? Says Shazza. I didn't hear that, but obviously I've heard it now. And I have no doubt those boys, they were just hating, man. They were in Liverpool. Who wants to be in Liverpool? Nobody. It's that simple. Tell Jose to buy a house if he wants a contract, says Schmeat. City will choke it, says Albert. We've got 100 people watching now, by the way, as well. So get hitting that like button. We've got 100 viewers. Can we get 100 likes? It doesn't prevent you from watching a stream to hit the like button, so get doing it. Marcus Rashford says, Adam, you smell. Thank you very much. I do smell. Quite nice. Thank you very much. Matt Hodges, thank you for watching. Bad Brad is back in the house. Real Madrid versus Tottenham tonight, says Ines. Reason why I did the stream a little bit earlier than usual. Jose Mourinho, funnily enough, has been asked about his future. And he blamed the press for that one, and he dismissed the rumours that he would be looking to leave Manchester United. I'm going to look to the side because I'm going to read exactly what he said. He said, you think you English media have the answer for that? Because in one day it says I'm going to sign a 5-year contract for 1 billion per season, and then the next day you say that I am leaving and going to Paris Saint-Germain. I think that is the answer. The answer is that nothing is happening. I am not signing a new 5-year contract. I am not leaving for Paris Saint-Germain. I am Manchester United, and I have a contract, and that is it. The only thing that I told is true, and there was not any misinterpretation of my words, was I am not going to end my career at Manchester United. I was asked how it is possible in modern football that any manager is going to last 15 to 20 years in the same club. I think Arsene Wenger is the last one. I think it's impossible for us with everything that surrounds the job, all of the pressures that surround the job. I think it's impossible to last for so long. If in this moment I want to finish my career in 2, 3, 4 or 5 years, then I would say yes, I want to finish my career with Manchester United. But I think I'm going to be a manager for 15 more years minimum in the job, and I think it is impossible to stay for 17 years in the same club. So that is exactly what Jose Mourinho has been saying on his future. He doesn't expect to be Manchester United manager because he doesn't see managers lasting longer than 10 years anymore. He just doesn't see it. And I think that's a fair point from Jose Mourinho. When I spoke about it yesterday, I mentioned that it's not realistic for Manchester United fans to expect Jose to think his career is going to end here. I don't want to hear him talking about Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain can go fuck themselves. I don't want to hear any of that. But we can't expect him to want to finish his career at United because his career may go to 70 odd. That's 17 years. So is he going to be here for 17 years? Probably not. It's difficult to do that now. I would love him to be. He would probably love that to happen because that would show that he's been a long-term success at the club and he's continued winning trophies, and Man United have stayed in the same position. But it's not realistic to expect that. You can want that. You can hope for that. You can wish that could happen. But it's not realistic to expect that. And I think last time Jose Mourinho went into his job at Chelsea, his second time around, he spoke about being there for long term. And I think it backfired for him. So I'm not surprised to see him, watch what he says a little bit more and be a little bit cautious about things. Because you can't expect managers to stay at the same club throughout their careers anymore. It's just not going to happen. So I totally understand where he came from. Sir Cam says Lukaku to open the scoring in Portugal. That would be nice, wouldn't it? See him get back to scoring ways, and United back to winning ways. Governor Bandicoot says he's late. No problem, mate. You can watch what you missed later on today. But thank you for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. We're close to 42,000 subscribers as well. So if you guys of the 138 aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Guys, get your comments in below as well. What are you thinking ahead of this game against Benfica? Benfica's top goal scorer, Jonas, is obviously going to be their biggest threat. But Benfica did rest players at the weekend. Despite the fact that they did win, they rested a lot of players. They're sitting in third in the Portuguese table at the moment, Liga NOS. They're sitting in third at the moment. They're not having the greatest of seasons, but when you look at their team, they've still got potential to cause us problems. The result against CSKA Moscow was probably a little bit deceiving in terms of they dominated that game. Against FC Basel, they got absolutely trounced. And Manchester United go in there in the form we're in the Champions League, in the Premier League, whatever. In the form we are in, we should expect them to win. But this is still probably going to be our most difficult away game of this Champions League group stage. It's still going to be our most difficult game of the Champions League group stage. And I'll tell you why. This Benfica side have one last chance to save their group. If they win this game, against us, they've got 3 points with 3 games left. They can still rescue something. Maybe a Europa League spot, maybe second place. They can still rescue something. So they are going to be well and truly up for this. Their fans are going to be up for this. United have a decent record against Benfica over the years. I think we've only lost once against them. We've played them 9 times, won 5, drawn 3, lost once. I think that's the record against them. Apologies if I am wrong, but it's something like that. We've got a very good record against these guys. Our last 2 games, though, have been draws. 2-2 at home, 1-1 away. Ryan Giggs scored there in 2011, and that was the season we got knocked out of the Champions League against Ottolo, Galati, Benfica and Basel. Obviously, we're in a position where that's unlikely to happen this time. But going into this game, we would be foolish to take this Benfica side for granted. We'd be foolish to take the win for granted. We'd be foolish to go there expecting to steamroller them. Yes, Basel battered them 5-0. Yes, they lost against CSKA Moscow at home. But they're still going to be up for this at home. It's a huge game, probably the biggest game of their season. And they're going to want to beat Manchester United. So we can't go there expecting to just beat them. Last time out, we didn't do too well in terms of a performance against Liverpool. And maybe the lads' confidence are going to have taken a little bit of hits. Despite the fact we're still unbeaten, their confidence may have taken a little bit of a hit. And if we go out against Benfica, we concede an early goal, or we let the crowd, build up and build up and build up, then we're going to cause problems for ourselves. We've got injuries. We're missing players like Bailly. We're missing players like Pogba, Fellaini, etc. So we need to go there and be sensible, be professional. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if we're 1-1, 0-0, whatever, with 70 minutes to go, if we just close down and accept that result. Because it wouldn't make sense to risk it and go all out, because we're in a very strong position at the moment. Draw this game, win our next one, we're through. So it's an interesting game. How do United approach it? How do Benfica approach it? If Manchester United get the first goal in this game, there will be goals there for us, because Benfica will flood forward, their fans will demand it, and Manchester United will have gaps to pick at the back. It's that simple. So the first goal is crucial in this game. The first goal is very, very... I know it's obvious in football, but the first goal is very, very crucial. Blind will start tomorrow, says Cam's Aristocrat. Says, I think we may win this game 4-1. Young or Valencia at right back for me. Young. D Nisbet. Is that Big Debo? If it is, congratulations on your news, by the way. I've been meaning to text you, man, but I've been so busy. But thank you for commenting. He says, clean sheet and Lukaku on the score sheet would be a good day. It would be a good day, innit? Lukaku, that chance he missed against Liverpool. Look, I'm not going to get on Lukaku's back, man. Obviously, because we watch Lukaku week in, week out, we watch every single minute of his season, we're going to pick up on the misses he makes. He scores bags of goals. Players miss chances, that's obvious. But that chance that he missed at Anfield, it reminded me of Zlatan's performance last season. He didn't have much to do. He was kind of isolated. He was stranded up there. But he had that one chance and he missed it. If they score those chances, Lukaku this season, Zlatan last season, everyone says Jose Mourinho has done a masterclass at Anfield. But when it's 0-0, everyone says Jose Mourinho has bored the life out of us. It's the way football goes. But that was a big, big miss there. Charlie Williams says first goal for Lukaku. Respect to... comments are moving. Nice one, D. Rifleman says Rashford to score. I do think Rashford will play. Is Jonas injured? Says Richard Le. He could be. Pogba could be back for the Spurs game, says Tom. That would be good. That would be good. We are missing Paul Pogba at the moment. And I thought at the weekend, few people were a little bit unfair on Ander Herrera. Look, everyone knows I'm a big Ander Herrera fan, and this isn't me just being a fanboy and defending him to the hilt. That's not the case. But Ander Herrera's performance against Liverpool was mixed. in terms of keeping possession, in terms of attacking, and in terms of helping the likes of Mkhitaryan and Lukaku, he didn't do well enough. But in terms of defensively, nullifying Coutinho, tackles, covering the ground, he was better than anyone else on the park. And he was crucial for us in terms of keeping a clean sheet. So I think people have been a little bit unfair to Ander Herrera this week. And I'm looking forward to him playing this game and hopefully putting in a good performance. Because I think the treatment's been a bit unfair. Missing Pogba. Playing a midfield 3 is vitally important. We went to Liverpool, played a midfield 2 more or less, and it was not good enough. We got overrun in there. And you kind of felt sorry for Matic and Herrera getting overrun in there. But yeah, I think everyone was a little bit harsh on Ander Herrera. And like Sanjeev says, he needs match sharpness. He definitely needs match sharpness. Come on, guys, get hitting that like button now. We need 31 more to get to the 100 mark. Get hitting that like button. We had too many bad performances versus Liverpool. We always play badly against Liverpool. I think it may be the occasion that gets to us. I'm not too sure. But it's a difficult place to go, isn't it? Their fans are always up for it. Their team's always up for it. It's always... Liverpool rarely challenge for things in terms of the league and stuff. They don't challenge us for titles. But that's the biggest game of their season for them most seasons. So you can see why we always struggle at Anfield. Lingard, Martial and Rashford to start. Pace, says Bad Brad. Now the reason I can't see Martial and Rashford both starting together is because then if they both start together, what for? In terms of our bench, we haven't got a striker on the bench then, and that's not, I don't think that's good enough going into a game without a striker on the bench. Rojo to be back in 2 weeks, but Shaw needs to work harder. He isn't living up to his potential as aristocrat, and to see him in the squad is good. After some negative comments about his performance for the 23s, it's good to see him getting a selection in the first team squad, and hopefully if selected from a start, from the bench, he puts in a performance. We need performances from Luke Shaw now. Get him fit, get him ready, get him playing. But if he doesn't want it, we're not going to get any of those things. It's that simple. Lingard for Mickey says that to me. Sika Jardi says he would give Mata a start in this game. And now, whilst you guys are all talking about your predicted 11s, here is my predicted 11. So I've gone with David De Gea in goal, Valencia, Smalling, Lindelof, and of course Daley Blind. Jose Mourinho has played Smalling and Lindelof in the Champions League, so I think he'll go with that again. Valencia at right back and Daley Blind at left back for me would be very, very good. Then with David De Gea in between the sticks, I think Ashley Young defensively is not good enough, so I wouldn't play Ashley Young against these guys. Then in the midfield, obviously you're going with Matic and Herrera. Pretty much the only choices that we do have in the midfield at the moment. But I've gone with Lingard, Mata and Marcus Rashford ahead. I've gone with Martial on the team sheet. I did think Rashford was going to start, but I've gone with Martial. I do think Rashford will start. I've put Martial probably because my heart keeps telling me to put Martial. So I've gone with Lingard, Mata and Martial with Romelu Lukaku up top. I think Mkhitaryan hasn't been very good recently, and I think to give him a rest would be the best thing for him. Give him a rest, bring him off the bench if we can when we're a couple of goals up. That would be the ideal situation, and then bring him in from there. But I'd go with Lingard and Mata and Martial, or Lingard, Mata and Marcus Rashford. Get some energy in behind Romelu Lukaku. Get Mata back into the team. Is it any coincidence when we haven't performed, Mata hasn't been in the team? I think Mata has been fantastic for us this season. He's been quietly going under the radar, but he's been making Manchester United tick, sitting in there between Matic and Pogba when Pogba was fit, just ahead of them. And when he's been out of the team, we've kind of lost that guy that keeps things ticking over, keeps the attacks flowing, because it's easy for things to break down. And maybe someone like Mata was the difference between a link between Matic and Herrera and Romelu Lukaku at the weekend. I mentioned this in hindsight. I didn't mention this before the game, so I'm not saying, oh, I know better than Jose Mourinho or anything like that. But what I thought after the game was Mkhitaryan, who was isolated, Romelu Lukaku, who was isolated. But if you had Juan Mata in there dropping alongside Herrera and Matic, picking up the ball and bringing it forward, I think we will get a lot more link to Romelu Lukaku there. So maybe would have brought in Mata for Mkhitaryan against Liverpool at Anfield. But that was, of course, in hindsight. I'd give Mata the start this time. Mkhitaryan played. Martial started, so I do think Rashford will start this game. We've got to go with that midfield. And I've dropped Ashley Young from the team. Well, not dropped, I've taken him out. But I think he's not good enough defensively for this game away from home in the Champions League. Meanwhile, Arsenal Fan TV are previewing Arsenal versus Red Star. Fuck Red Star Belgrade. Actually, fuck Arsenal. I hope Red Star Belgrade go and absolutely pummel them. It will be a great atmosphere as well. Mata had a bump at the weekend, sore hip, says Bill. Hopefully he's fit for this game. Attack or play back, says Jeffrey. That is the dilemma that Manchester United have going into this game. Do we attack? Do we sit back? What do we do? Because we're 6 points out of 6 so far. We haven't conceded. Did we concede against Moscow? No, we didn't. We haven't conceded in the Champions League. We're going there. And it's a strange game, man. It's really strange because my heart's saying to me, United are winning this game comfortably. Look at Benfica. Look at the fucking state of them. They got beat by Moscow and Basel. Basel beat them 5-0. But then my head keeps saying to me, they're going to be up for this game. They've got to win this game to keep their hopes alive. And they're going to be well on it, especially with their crowd behind them. Last game at the Stadium of Light, the Estadio de Luz, we drew 1-1. Last game at Old Trafford, we drew 2-2. We have got a good record against them. We've only lost once. But it's a difficult game ahead. What would my prediction be for this game? I'm not too sure. It's a difficult one to predict. But what are you guys thinking? Keep your comments coming in, guys. We're going to keep this preview going for at least another... Yes, we conceded against Moscow. Why did we concede against Moscow, for fuck's sake? Really annoying, wasn't it? Alex Rincon thinks it's going to be 3-0 to United. Raf says, do I think Tottenham are able to win today? I think they'll score, but I don't think they'll win. I do think that Real Madrid will win. Twanzebe should get a start. He has a lot of potential, says Trini. That would be nice. He has travelled out there as well, but you never know. Dubsy the Dubsy says Jose keeps you guessing. He's a mastermind. We need to score, especially after that Liverpool game, says Aristocrat. Akshmeet says 2-0. Shazza says 2-0. Yagoob says 2-0. Serinx says 3-0. D says Mourinho is overly familiar with Portuguese league, so I'm very confident we will get the victory. Nicolaj says 1-1. United comeback from 1-0 down, says Sanjeev. It would be great to watch in hindsight, but imagine that going 1-0 down. I would be absolutely screwing. Paul Lucas says low at Troy Deeney trolling Arsenal. I don't even think Troy Deeney was trolling Arsenal. He was simply being truthful. It's from my bits as well. So shout out Troy Deeney, but yeah, I don't even think he was firing shots at them. I think he was just being genuinely honest. Arsenal are shit. Lewis says 4-1. Lukaku, Brace, Martial and Rashford. That would be nice. I want Lukaku to get back to scoring ways. If I had to predict something, I would say 2-0 to Manchester United. Maybe 2-1. But I'll go with 2-0 and I'll say Lukaku and Martial to score. Now it's interesting, Mourinho managed Benfica. Matic played for Benfica. We recently signed Victor Lindelof from Benfica. And I think this is a game where Victor Lindelof will get a start against Benfica. It's a place that he knows well. It's a tempo of play that he will know well. It's opposition he will know well. He would have trained with a lot of these guys week in, week out over the last couple of years. So I think this is a game that if Victor Lindelof doesn't start, you've got to be worried. Why isn't he starting? You know what I mean? There's no excuse not to start him in this game. He's coming in the Champions League games as well. And I think he's did okay. I think he has done okay, Victor Lindelof, more recently. He was dreadful in pre-season. But I'd like to see him start this game and do well against his former club. Will he get a goal? Will he get... Actually, fuck that. I'm scrapping it. I'm going with Lindelof to open and scoring and score and not celebrate. And then I'm going with Lukaku to make it 2-0. So that is my prediction for tomorrow, and that is my predicted lineup as well. David De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Lindelof, Blind, Matic, Herrera, Lingard, Mata, Martial and Romelu Lukaku. I do think Jose Mourinho may pick Marcus Rashford though, but he did complain about the fact that Marcus Rashford wasn't fit before the game against Liverpool, and then when he came on, he excused his performance by saying he wasn't fit or wasn't ready for the game. So you never know. Martial may get another start, and I may be happy about that one. But I'm not unhappy when Marcus Rashford starts. I equally love the both of them. I just don't expect both of them to start in the game, because if they do, we don't have a striker on the bench until Zlatan is here at least. Matic to score the first goal, says Michael Brook. Best King says 1-0 to United with Mata in the 56th minute. Paul Lucas says Benfica used to be a great team. Obviously, United beat Benfica in 1968 to win our first European Cup. It was a side that contained the likes of Eusebio, and Manchester United beat them comfortably in the final in the end to win our first European Cup. So we've got a long-standing history with Benfica. Over the years, played them an awful lot. This is our 10th fixture in European competition against them. So interesting night ahead. Interesting night of football ahead, and I'll be keeping you guys up to date with it all here on Adam McKola TV. So make sure you keep it locked tomorrow. Do you want me to do a team news stream here, or do you just want me to do the one that I normally do on Full-Time Devils? Do you want me to do the Full-Time Devils and then run across here? Let me know about that, but I'll be definitely doing the reaction stream. Also tomorrow morning or afternoon, we will have the Road to Glory video up, PES 2018. I've also filmed the FIFA video as well, which will be up on Friday. I'm not sure what I'm doing on Thursday yet, but it could be the Huddersfield preview. But I did have that penciled in for Friday, so that one remains to be seen. But we've got an action-packed week here on Adam McKola TV. Apologies for the quiet weekend of content, but we are back now, and we are back in full effect. Ashmeet's dozing off after we've finished here, so thank you very much for watching. Very close to 100 likes as well, so get hitting that like button. AHR says 1-0 to United with the 93rd minute winner from Victor Lindelof. Raf thinks we're going to F their mama. Team News says SLJR. The team news is Marcos Rojo, who travelled out with the squad, and we all thought Marcos Rojo had returned. Isn't available for at least 2 weeks. He's just travelled with the team to simply be part of the squad and train with those guys. Jose Mourinho also spoke about his future as well, and questioned that and said, the only reason I don't expect to finish my contract here is because I don't expect managers to last more than 10 years, which is totally understandable. There's no Bailly tomorrow as well. He's injured in the national team, which is really frustrating, and probably the biggest negative from that international break just gone, apart from the fact that we seem to have lost a little bit of momentum. But no Eric Bailly, and I think that's a huge miss. But it's great to have Rojo nearing a potential return. If we can get Bailly and Rojo back together at the same time, that'd be great to see too. So really looking forward to this game against Benfica. Manchester United fans now, let's stop complaining. Yeah, we drew against Liverpool. People act like it's the end of the world. We've drawn 2 games this season, one against Stoke, one against Liverpool. People are acting like it's the end of the world. Are you for fucking real? We're in very good shape at the moment this season. In terms of the league, you know, look at us. Played 8, drawn 2, won 6, 20 points. Happy days. We're looking at Champions League, played 2, won 2, 6 points, top of the group. Why are people complaining? We're scoring goals for fun. We're not conceding any. And yes, it was disappointing the way we played against Liverpool at Anfield at the weekend. But let's not get carried away here. We hardly ever play well at Anfield. Even when we win there, we don't play well. John O'Shea smash and grab, Wayne Rooney smash and grab. Yeah, when Juan Mata got his brace there, we outplayed them that day. But it's very rarely like that at Anfield. We always have a dodgy game against them and somehow get through with a victory if we do win. So I think people, you know, going over the top with the reaction to the Liverpool game, as is expected with Jose Mourinho and Manchester United, we need to come to grip with that. The fact that Manchester United are the biggest fucking team in the world, and we drawing a game caused more headlines than Chelsea losing against Crystal Palace. Chelsea losing against Crystal Palace, who haven't scored or won a game all season. They hadn't scored in a game. They hadn't won a game all season. Chelsea lost. Manchester United drawing at Anfield got more headlines. Arsenal lost against Watford, come from behind. Manchester United drawing at Anfield got more headlines. That is the simple fact. Manchester United are the biggest fucking team in the world, and everyone wants to talk about us. So us as Manchester United fans shouldn't make it any worse by adding to the unneeded pressure. Yes, it's okay to be unhappy with a performance. Yes, it's okay to moan about a 90 minutes and say, oh, we could have done this or we could have done that. But looking at the bigger picture, there's not a lot to fucking moan about. And we're going into this game against Benfica with a lot of confidence, in a great position in our Champions League group, in a great position this season. And we need to get behind the boys. Because yes, we've got a few injuries, but there's not an awful lot to moan about as Manchester United fans. That's my team. That is my predicted team. Get your comments in below. What is your predicted team? What is your predicted score? I'm going 4-2 2-0 with Lindelof and Lukaku scoring. Comment, subscribe, like and share. I have been Adam McKola. This has been Adam McKola TV's Benfica vs Manchester United preview. You guys have all been absolute legends. And for now, guys, I'm Adam McKola. I'm out of here.